Hi, how are you? Welcome to my kitchen again. You won't believe all the pastas that we've found. Do you know, it wasn't many years ago that pasta was, well, what did we call it? We called it macaroni. Do you remember we had about 2 different shapes and 2 different sizes? And generally they were soggy and they were cooked too long, but in our time, pasta has been raised to absolute glory. And the old argument about who invented pasta really should be settled right now. We're quite sure that China invented pasta very independently of Italy, but Italy had it at the same time. When Marco Polo came back from his trip and brought pasta to northern Italy, we found later that the southern Italians had already been eating pasta. So they invented it independently. But in any case, in our time, you don't even have to roll your own. You can go to a marvelous pasta factory, and I found a jewel for you. It's called the Florence Macaroni Manufacturing Company, and you can see a treasure when you wander through this place. Wow. Isn't that place incredible? I've just decided I want to convert the whole back bedroom of our house into a pasta factory. Couldn't you see all those machinery? I'd love it. I'd love it. You don't really have to make your own pasta. It's fun, and there are a lot of gimmicks in the market for doing that now. But pasta that's made fresh in your community or in your city and then dried is really very, very good. You don't have to worry about it. Fresh pasta is fun, too. But let me show you some good dishes this morning using pasta. Good, fresh pasta dishes. I'm going to heat up a good frying pan. I think one's ready. I've pre-cooked all my pasta, and you really shouldn't do that. But I'm doing it because we have so little time together. But you'll enjoy it anyhow. Into a frying pan. This first one is fettuccine with salami and zucchini. Italian salami and zucchini. The theory being that you always have something in the refrigerator for your pasta dish. You don't have to worry about pasta. You can always make pasta. All right. A little bit of olive oil in the frying pan. I'm going to put in a few cubes. I'd love to put in a cube of garlic. Wouldn't it be great? A few cloves of garlic. Put in 2 or 3. And let them begin to saute right away. Oh, the smell of garlic. All that pasta flipping around. I just love it. And then we're going to saute in our garlic, oil, a bit of zucchini. And I've cut these into sticks. Just a little handful. You want to see how to do that while they're cooking? Let me show you. It's very, very simple. To make what they call a matchstick cut. See, first of all, we want to cut off, keep the fingers bent under, cut off a few slices of the zucchini. So, you see? And then stack them up again. Put them back in a little pile. There we are. And then cut them into sticks. Now, your knife should be good and sharp for this sort of thing. You see? And you now have a whole handful of matchsticks. Isn't that fun? Works great. Into the pot they go. There we are. We don't want to cook. We don't want to cook this too long. You know, vegetables shouldn't be overcooked, regardless of what you're going to do with them. On with the top. Okay, now we need to add a 1/4 pound of Italian salami, and I have cut this into matchsticks as well. You see? Isn't that beautiful stuff? 1/4 pound of salami. This is called a wine cure salami. It's not. You don't have to buy it imported. You can buy it in this country, and it's just great. Now, into that we want to put a bit of caper. shake up the old pan again. And the capers, just about a teaspoon. These are very fine little capers. They're very beautiful. And this little batch is rather expensive, but the capers will give your cooking a marvelous, almost nasturtium-like odor. They're a little bit acidic and they're just delicious. All right. Now I better throw my pasta into the pot. Fettuccine, here we go. I've got pasta all over the place. So what we're going to do is just pre-cook the pasta, you see. And I've dipped it in very cold water after I prepared it, so that this way we can just take a batch and stick it into a basket and throw it into the hot water, and it will be ready for us in just a minute when we want it, you see, just a second. So I'm finishing the cooking now. Okay, let's see how our... now we need some whipping cream. Whipping cream? Excuse me, it's clear over here. Wow. You know, I built my kitchen as a kind of a galley so that you don't have to run around much. About 1/4 cup of whipping cream should be plenty. I'm doing this on high heat. Okay. Looks just about right. Did you get the recipe? While that's cooking down, I'll give you the ingredients again. After we add a tad of salt and just a smidgen of salt, you know, don't use too much. You're not going to need it because the capers have a lovely light flavor. A little bit of salt and lots of pepper. Alrighty. And we're ready to serve our first pasta dish. Let me give you the ingredients again as we dish this up. We have salami cut in matchsticks along with zucchini and a little bit of oil. We saute this in some garlic, and then we've added some capers, a little bit of pepper, some whipping cream, some salt, and then we want to add some cheese to that on the top. Okay, the fettuccine is all ready to go. Isn't this a clever way of doing things? You can have your pasta done ahead of time, but you got to be careful. There we go. Whoops. Have to be careful for several reasons here. It's going to go all over the world, I think. There we are. Oops. I want to keep those out of the pot because we're going to use that kettle again here. And now, let's check our sauce. It's ready. Matter of fact, it's very ready. Looks good. And it goes right over the top. There we are. And we need some nicely, freshly grated Parmesan or Romano cheese. A little parsley garnish. There. And we have the first one ready for today. Spaghetti and salami with zucchini, all cut in matchstick style. Put a lid back on our kettle, get it boiling again, and we'll start in on the next one. The second one that I want to do for you is a different kind of pasta. It's called angel hair. And you see, it's very, very fine. I'm going to take 2 of these angel hair baskets. See how fine it is? Angel hair. Capellini and... Oh, my Italian's terrible. I can't remember the name in Italian. But I'll put this in the kettle. It'll take just a moment to cook, so we don't want to take too much time with it. Put it in my basket and stick it in the kettle here. And it'll be ready in just a moment. So let's hurry along with the sauce. The sauce consists of broccoli and 3 cheeses. So a little garlic and olive oil, prepared first of all. Yes, I always put garlic in just about everything. One day I did a show without garlic, and one of you called. You thought I wasn't feeling well or something, which I thought was pretty funny. Garlic's good for you, really is. Natural blood thinner in it. Did you know that? It'll thin your blood. It's called kaolic or something like that, and it's very good for you. Okay, now we're going to put some broccoli flowerets. Just the little bitty tops of the blossom. Don't put the big mess into it. There we go. And we'll cook those over high heat for just a few minutes. Won't take long. Won't take long at all. And the rest of the ingredients are simple. We want to throw in a bit of chopped yellow onion into our pan here. We have broccoli, garlic, olive oil, chopped yellow onion. Now we're going to add a little bit of cream. It's not quite ready for the cream. No, not quite ready. You think I'm using too much cream today, do you? Well, those are the breaks. Yes, let's see if that's done. Not quite. Wiggle that around a bit so it can, lots of water on it. You mustn't try and cook pasta when it's confined. You know what I mean? It has to have lots and lots of water, or you're going to get goo. And that's the last thing the Western world needs, is more goo. We have made the whole world gooey with irresponsible ecological problems and bad cooking. So let's knock it off and make good things. I don't want to use this copper pan. I think I'll use a plain white one. Put this one in a bowl for you. It'll be good. Now we're going to mix the, got parsley everywhere. We're going to mix the pasta with 3 cheeses. And one of the cheeses is rather unusual. It's called Mizithra. And it comes in a big round ball, and all it really is simply a cheese that has, ricotta cheese from Greece that has been allowed to form in a hard ball, and it's very good. Let me get the pasta out of the pot. I think it's ready. It better be, because I'm certainly ready for it. Okay. All right, we don't want all that water. I'm sure there's more in the pot here. Let's see what we've got. A little bit, nothing serious, okay. Time for the whipping cream into our garlic and onion, broccoli. We'll let that sit in the stove for just another minute here. See, the broccoli's done now. You notice we haven't even blanched that. We've just allowed it to saute a bit, so it'll be tender and nice. Now, into our kettle of hot pasta, we're going to put a stiff shot. Well, I'm putting in several tablespoons of Mizithra cheese, this very flavorful Italian cheese, and some Swiss cheese. So we want 3 cheeses, 1, 2, and then finally some Parmesan or Romano. Freshly grated, of course. Toss the cheeses first. Oh, that's a marvelous odor. That Mizithra is really potent stuff. Very potent cheese. There we go. Down it goes. Oh, that's great. That's terrific. Okay, we're ready. Now, we need a bowl. Put our cheese-tossed pastas in the bowl and pour the sauce right over the top. This is a very nice dish. I think you'll like it. There, everything is calmed down a bit. Excuse me, getting the wrong hand here, I can't function. There we go, pasta with fresh broccoli and 3 cheeses. And the cream will run down inside into the pasta. Help melt the cheese. You might want to put a little more pepper on this. You know, you can't have too much pepper on a pasta dish, it seems to me. Pasta is marvelous with pepper. Okay, let's put this one out. If I confuse you and you don't get all the recipes when we cook together, don't feel bad. Write to us and we'll send you a whole book full of recipes. We have all kinds of good things ready for you. There we are. Now, let's try another one. I want to show you a vegetable and clam sauce that's just very, very simple to do. Get your frying pan hot again, and into the pan we want to put a few cloves of garlic, and this time I'm going to crush them rather than just chopping them. With a bit of olive oil. This one's quick and easy, and it's very low calorie. And the clams are easy to come by if you use canned clams. In my neck of the woods in Seattle, you know, you're not supposed to use canned clams. We consider that sacrilege. But now and then, in the middle of the night, I've been wont to climb out of bed and make this dish for myself. All right, put about 5 cloves of garlic into a frying pan. Good hot oil, garlic oil. That's what we're making from the olive oil and the garlic, you see. Alrighty, now we'll saute the following vegetables in there. Very easy to do. We need about a couple of stalks of celery, 3, 4, whatever you like. Remember when you chop now, keep those fingers bent under, won't you, huh? In it goes. Here we are. And we'd also like to add a couple of zucchini, and I've cut them up. I'm going to use the stick ones again. Here we are. Very small zucchini. And we're going to add 4 green onions. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's so much fun to cook. Well, obviously you caught on to that, or you wouldn't be joining me all the time. There we go. Let's shake that a bit. See how they're doing. Turn the heat up. You see how quickly you can do this if you come home at night and you want to throw together a nice pasta sauce. You don't have to cook tomatoes all day long. They don't eat tomato sauce on pasta in the north anyhow. You know, that's a very southern tradition. But I am going to put some tomato in this eventually. Let's try some mushrooms. Oh, a little handful. You can vary this any way you like. These are all sliced up and ready. While those are cooking, I'm going to dice up a couple of tomatoes. Now remember, if your knife is not sharp, you're not going to be able to cut a tomato without getting juice all over the board. And you sharpen your knife thusly, stroking it on both sides at about a 45-degree angle on your knife over against the steel. You see? About 45 degrees from here to here. Understand me? Actually, 45 is a little too much. Anywhere from 20 to 45, depending how you cut. There, oh, that's good and sharp now. Now we're all ready. So that when we slice up the tomato, you see, we shouldn't have anything dribbling out of the tomato at all. And that's a very ripe tomato. You see? You don't need those tomato cutters, for heaven's sakes. Just keep your knife good and sharp. Okay. One more here. And that'll go into my frying pan in preparation for our clam sauce. There, it's doing nicely. This should cook longer than I'm going to allow it to cook today. You and I don't have time for that, but that's all right. Let's put in about 3 tablespoons of parsley now. Got that one? Parsley, there's lots of vegetables. And we want 1/4 of a cup of white wine. Ta-da! There we go. And now we'll put in the clams. And what I'm going to use are simply chopped clams, and I'm going to put in the juice and all. But we'll have to let that cook for a bit. To cook down the... There we go. Oh. Well, I can smell right now. It's going to be delicious, but I need some salt and pepper. Clams. We don't need clams. Very little salt now. You don't need it with all these vegetables and tons of garlic. And a bit of pepper. There we are. Well, let's let this cook down for a bit. I'll put it on another burner so that I have my stove adjusted so that I have my center burner that's closest to me is just hotter than a $2 shotgun. It's just murder. And that way, you see, I can control things very easily. So that this burner is not so hot. At home, my gas range is the same way. I have one burner that I use for wok cooking, and it's very, very hot. And my wife just is frustrated because she'll burn everything up if she's not careful. And we'll let this one cook for a bit, and we'll go on to another one. Then I want to talk about the styles of pasta that we saw in that lovely little vignette that our crew did. The odor's terrific. But first, we've got to get the pasta in the pot. Remember, I told you I already pre-cooked this. So what we're going to do now is to add some penalici to the pot. Penalici is an interesting, you see how long it is? Let me show you what it's like when it's before it's been cooked. I have some here from a marvelous factory that we'd seen. You see, it looks like a little quill of a pen. Isn't that fascinating? You could almost write with it. And it's called little pen tips. And it looks little quill tips, you see. So we'll get some pasta into the pot here. And my sauce is now amply warm. And I think I want to serve that one in a flamboyant copper thing because, for me, clams are just terrific. Okay, it doesn't take long here to warm it back up when your water's boiling good and hard. There we are. Aren't these fun when they boil up nicely? Why, they really look good. Little pen tips, quill tips, call them what you will. Anyhow, they're fun to play with. Now, our sauce is ready. Toss that around a little bit more. Fine, we'll load that on our... Now, if you have too much juice on the bottom of yours, and I didn't this time, remember I put in 1/4 of a cup of wine as well as the juice from the can of clams. If you have too much juice in there, then remove the solids from the pan and simply boil it down. Boil the sauce down a bit. But I don't think we'll have to do that this time. It looks very good. And don't put the cheese all over the top because you're going to kill the colors. Let's just do a little bit here, you see? Down the center so that you can toss all of this at the table. This is very low calorie. It's very inexpensive. It's very flamboyant. What do you want from me today? It's going to be a good dish for you. I think your family will like that one. Ouch. There, a little hot. All right, we have time for another one. And this one is, well, it looks a little strange. I'm going to make egg noodles with blue cheese, a blue cheese cream sauce. Put your frying pan on the burner. It's good and hot. And in order to make this dish, you want to get a bit of blue cheese. Now remember, there are all kinds of cheeses in the market that are called blue. Well, not really all kinds that are called blue. There are several different cheeses of this variety. The French variety is a Roquefort cheese, and it's made with sheep's milk. Then there's an Italian variety made from goat's milk, and it's called Gorgonzola. The Danes make it from cow's milk and call it blue. And either one of those three will work. Just depends on how much you want to invest in this whole project, you see. Because the other cheeses are much more expensive than the Danish, but they really do have a much brighter flavor. Okay, we want a fourth of a pound of cheese. I'm going to put it into a bit of oil here. Isn't this an interesting thought? Gorgonzola noodles and... Whoops! Just put out my burner. There we go. One of you wrote and asked why I light my burners with a little, what they call a automatic match. Because I don't want to, there, that's a fourth of a pound. I don't want to leave my pilot lights burning on my gas stove all the time. It costs about $70 a year for you to use all that electricity, the gas, and you don't want it. You don't need it. Okay, a fourth of a cup of whipping cream goes into that. This one's very, very simple. Just melt down the cheese and the whipping cream. Then we want a little bit of Parmesan or Romano that we'll put on later. Just let that melt. Isn't it gorgeous? You don't think it's gorgeous yet, eh? Well, you watch and see what's going to happen. Now we need some egg noodles that I've already cooked. And these egg noodles are really, really very lovely. We'll just put in a big handful here. Don't cook these until they're gooey, as I say with my gooey noodles in my hand. They're not bad. They're just about right. Okay. We'll toss the sauce about now in the noodles until we have a Gorgonzola blue cheese or Roquefort cream sauce that we've made of a quarter pound. You get the recipe? Quarter pound of cheese, a little bit of olive oil in a pan, quarter cup of whipping cream. This is going to be a rich one. And you heat the noodles up. There we go. They're just about done. They need pepper. That's what they need. They need some pepper, so let's throw in some pepper here. Alrighty. And we've got another one for you. You can't have too much pasta. I'm just convinced. And pasta's very in now, you know. You notice I haven't done anything with cold pasta for you today. The Italians don't think much of that idea. And yet the kind of salads that we can make in our time with the colorful pastas that we have are certainly a far cry from the old macaroni salad that my mother used to make for me in South Tacoma. That's a good memory too, though. I'm not knocking it. Okay, that one's done. Did you get that? Let's put some parsley on the top of it. Oh, some Parmesan or Romano cheese. I forgot that. So we have two cheeses in this one. Gorgonzola, cream, olive oil, no garlic, a little bit of pepper. And we're ready to serve it. It's very nice. Very nice. There we go. And I think we need a little bit of parsley in this one too. And we have 4 pasta dishes that took us very little time to prepare. And they're very delicious. Now, when you went to the factory with me a little bit ago, to the Florence macaroni factory, you saw him making a dark pasta at one point. This is made of whole wheat. And when it's cooked, it looks a little bit lighter. Then he did something called a rotini. It looks like endless corkscrews. You remember they had different colors? This is wheat. The red one is beet. The yellow one, or orangish one, of course, is carrot. And the green one, can you guess? You're right, it's spinach. And when you cook them up, they look a little bit lighter in color, but they're simply marvelous for any kind of a pasta salad that you'd like to make. Very light dressing of olive oil and garlic, a little bit of vinegar, you see. And then if you have time, you don't want time, you want basil. If you have time to go to the market, pick some fresh leaves of basil or pick up a whole fresh plant. This was brought to me by a friend here at our kitchen, our studio, and he gave me some fresh basil. And you can use them for decoration on your pasta, or better yet, you can simply throw them in the pasta dish. Now, if you want to make your own pasta fresh, the recipe is simple. It's in my cookbook. We'll send you that too. But I want to show you a gadget that I've just found that I think is a riot. Instead of buying them from the guy who has a big electric machine, look at this one. This is a KitchenAid, and it's the regular meat grinder, and they have a little gadget you throw in there. And watch this, will you? You can make pasta with it. at it coming out. Here we're making spaghettini. Making spaghettini, and it just does it all by itself. I made the dough, and you just feed it in there in little bitty blobs, you see. You notice that I'm not putting in big handfuls, but just tiny little bits at a time, you see. Very interesting. Good fun. There you go. Now you'll have to flour that, or you'll have a big mess on your hands. You have to put a lot of flour around the pasta. Anyhow, that's one method. And another method is to use a rolling machine. And this gadget is very easy to use. You've seen this. This is an Italian pasta maker. And you roll your dough first on the thick side. I love this one. I really like this rolled pasta much better than extruded pasta. It has a much nicer flavor for me. You roll it thick first, then we'll dial down to a thin one here. Number 5, if you have an atlas at home, and you're ready to cut your noodles. Out they go. Then the noodle machine has several blades on the other side, and you can run them through either lasagna or spaghettini, thusly. And you have pasta all over the place. Make fettuccine, make pasta, make good things for your family. We've made 4 dishes to celebrate today with everything we could possibly find in the refrigerator. For instance, we have fettuccine with a beautiful salami and zucchini. We have broccoli with 3 cheeses. We have rigatoni or penalici with a clam sauce. And finally, with beautiful blue cheese sauce. So you can do all sorts of things. Cook, will you? And use pasta. Till we're together again then, this is the Frugal Gourmet. I bid you peace. Bye-bye.